If I had to start learning trading and investing all over again, these are the exact things I would do. In this video, I'm going to share the step-by-step path I would follow to succeed as quickly as possible if I had to start from zero, or if I had to guide someone who is completely new to trading. So let's get started. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Mr. Chang. On this channel, I share knowledge about trading and investing that I've accumulated over the years. You can check out the other videos on my channel. I've organized them into different playlists based on topics to make them easier to follow. Now let's get into the main topic. How would I learn trading if I had to start again from the beginning? The first thing is understanding that learning and constantly improving your knowledge is the only way to survive in this market long term. Most people enter the market wanting to make money quickly. They look for shortcuts. They choose the easiest path, such as letting someone else manage their money, copying signals, or asking others to trade for them. We often choose these easy paths simply because we want success as soon as possible, but this mindset can make us blind. It makes us vulnerable to bad actors who might lead us to unreliable brokers or encourage reckless trades that eventually wipe out all our capital. Even if you happen to make some profit that way, it will usually be short-term because you don't actually know how to control or generate profits on your own. That's why, as a beginner, you must accept one important fact. There are no shortcuts here. If you truly want trading to be a long-term career, you must focus on improving your knowledge. Other people should only help you gain knowledge, not replace your decision-making. If something is valuable, keep it and learn from it. If it isn't, simply ignore it. Your energy should be focused on building the right knowledge that makes sense logically and reflects how the market actually works. Because in this market, there's also a lot of noise. If you spend time learning and applying the wrong information, you'll waste a lot of time. And when you finally realize it's useless, you'll have to spend even more time unlearning it before starting again with the right knowledge. I personally lost a lot of time because of this in the past. So if you want to go far in this field, you must accept that learning and practicing will take time. And this leads to the second point. If you want to make money, you must learn how to manage and spend money wisely. When I first started learning about trading and investing, I made a decision that if I had to start over again, I probably wouldn't make. I quit my job to pursue trading full-time. Of course, there were pros and cons. The advantage was that I had more time to focus on trading. But the downside was that I put myself in a financially insecure position without stable income. Even though I had some savings at the time, after a few months, I realized something important and decided to return to my old job. Looking back, that was the best decision I could have made at that moment. When learning something new, we should understand that the learning process is long-term. It takes time to experience, practice, and accumulate knowledge. Success doesn't come overnight. The most important thing during that period is making sure you can still support yourself and your family. Use your current job to support the career you want to pursue. At the same time, dedicate extra time each day to learning and improving. I'm not saying you should never quit your job to pursue trading, but if you do, you must carefully calculate the risks beforehand. Ask yourself questions like, what if things don't work out? How long can I financially sustain myself? What will I do if I'm not successful after that period? Write down all the what-if scenarios and answer them honestly before making your decision. That way, no matter what happens, you'll still be able to stand strong without facing devastating consequences. That difficult period also taught me a lot about money management and spending wisely. Every time I spend money, I ask myself whether the value I receive is truly worth the cost. I focus on real value instead of flashy appearances, and I try not to be too indulgent or too stingy with myself. Because of that mindset, even during the hardest times, I never fell into a terrible situation. I stayed optimistic and calm. And even today, that habit hasn't changed. Unfortunately, this is still a major problem for many people. I constantly receive messages from people asking for help when their trading accounts are about to be wiped out. Before disaster happens, people often believe in easy and quick profits. But once it happens, no one can undo the damage. The reason is simple. They never asked the what-if questions beforehand. They didn't prepare for the risks. Instead of focusing on risk management, they only focused on potential profits. Whenever you want to play a game, you must first understand the rules of the game. Before learning advanced concepts like technical analysis and trading strategies, you must first master the basics. For example, how to choose a reliable broker with proper international regulation, how to create a trading account, how to place trades, how to set stop-loss and take profit orders, how to calculate position size and understand your risk per trade. These are fundamental skills. The good thing is, you don't need a lot of money to learn them. Most brokers provide demo accounts so you can practice without risking real money. Once you have chosen a broker and created your account, spend time exploring the platform. Practice placing trades, understand the interface, and get comfortable with how everything works. These basic concepts can easily be found on Google. The key is to practice until you become completely comfortable with them before moving on to more advanced topics like reading candlestick charts, understanding bull and bear market behavior, trading strategies, and risk management. Another important thing is recognizing which stage of learning you're in. The learning process usually has 4 stages: learning, practice, results, mastery. In the learning stage, you study and understand new knowledge. In the practice stage, you apply that knowledge. During these 2 stages, you should allow yourself to make mistakes, experiment, and gain experience. Many people think that once they find a trading strategy, they will master it within a few weeks or months. That's completely unrealistic. Learning trading is like learning any other skill. You can't become a professional swimmer, table tennis player, memory expert, or language master in just a few weeks. So understand that you are still in the learning and practice phase. Don't pressure yourself to succeed too quickly. When I first started, I also pushed myself too hard. I kept depositing money and trading even though I didn't have enough knowledge. The result? I lost a lot of time, effort, and money. Remember, there are no shortcuts to success. Next, you need to understand the formula for winning in the market. This formula revolves around 2 important factors: risk-to-reward ratio, RR, and win rate. For example, if your risk-to-reward ratio is 1:1, you only need a win rate above 50% to be profitable. If your risk-to-reward ratio is 1:2, meaning you risk 1 to make 2, you only need a win rate above 34% to have a profitable strategy. Most beginners make the mistake of searching for strategies before understanding this concept. If I had to start again, I would fully understand this principle first, because once you understand it, even if you don't have a perfect strategy yet, you can still avoid large losses and manage your capital using probabilities. Only after mastering this concept would I start studying more advanced strategies. Another important principle is learning from the root cause. Most people memorize strategies without truly understanding them. For example, many strategies use indicators like Bollinger Bands or MACD. Most materials simply say that when the indicator moves upward or crosses upward, it signals a bullish trend. If we just follow that blindly, we are simply memorizing rules without understanding them. Instead, we should ask questions. Why does this signal indicate an uptrend? How is this indicator calculated? What logic connects the formula to the market movement? If we cannot answer those questions, we should not rely on the indicator. Everything in the market comes from one simple foundation: buying and selling. Buying and selling create price. Price is shown on the chart. From the chart, we can analyze buying and selling pressure, supply and demand zones, and market behavior. When you understand things from their root cause, everything starts to make sense. Finally, one of the most important habits is reviewing your trades. When I first started trading, I was very impulsive. Whenever I saw what looked like a good entry, I would jump into the trade immediately. If the trade won, I felt happy. If it lost, I felt frustrated and moved on to the next opportunity. After doing this for a long time, I realized I wasn't improving at all. Only when I started reviewing my past trades did I discover that most of my losing trades came from emotional and random entries. This is a common mistake for beginners. When my students review their early trades, they also realize they placed many random trades without following any rules. But once they start analyzing their trades, they begin to see where they went wrong, and that's how improvement happens. Making mistakes in the beginning is completely normal. What matters are 2 things. First, don't let those mistakes destroy your real trading capital.
In the learning stage, the goal is skill development, not making money. That's why you should spend a lot of time backtesting during this stage. Second, identify your mistakes and correct them. For example, if you realize that not using stop-loss orders is a mistake, you must train yourself to place a stop-loss on every trade until it becomes an automatic habit. Once placing a stop-loss becomes instinctive, you know you've improved. The same applies to other mistakes. These are exactly the things I would do if I had to start learning trading again from the beginning. If I had followed these principles earlier, I would have saved a tremendous amount of time, money, and effort. The most important thing is focus on yourself and your progress. If you do that consistently, success will eventually come. Don't chase success too aggressively or expect it to arrive quickly. I just want to wish all of you the determination and patience needed to